Yo, people, welcome back. Lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for Euro Euphoria. Anita and Dami are running late. Lateness is greatness is going to a whole new level for them. But I'm not going to wait around because I've got a lot to say today. I've got a lot to say. Everything from the German girl picking up 20 bags for crying at the game, which is really starting to make me question if I'm in the right profession, people. I might have to shed a few tears tonight when England play Ukraine. I'm not going to lie to you, all right? I'm considering it. Oh, my camera's just turned off. I'm considering it, people, all right? I'm not going to lie to you. 20 bags, that's a lot of money to be given a German girl. We got a lot of problems in the world, people, and you guys just donate. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. Big up the chat. Big up the chat. I'm not 12 minutes late because I said 10 past. I changed the time just because so you guys wouldn't be annoyed. So you can't kill me for that one, all right? Because the group chat told me there would be a little bit of a delay. So I said, you know what? Let me just update the people. So you're not waiting around. Go and get a coffee. Go and get a tea. Do what you're doing. Big up the chat. Loads of you in here. Ellis, BP Productions, Mustafa, Newsflash, all you man them in the chat. Big up yourselves. I got a big agenda to get through today. I got a lot to get through. Obviously, Jorginho is in the semi-final. He's the first Chelsea player in there as well. Brilliant performance again from Italy against Belgium. They play some beautiful football. It's a shame that Spinazzola came off injured. He's been really exciting to watch. But you have to say, listen, it's been a brilliant tournament so far from Italy. In terms of who actually deserves to win it and who's playing the best, by far and away, clear them. They are by far the best team so far to watch. Great triangles they're forming in midfield, creating loads of opportunities, daring as hell going forward. Just a great team to watch, I have to say. I'm really excited to watch them. Obviously, Aspie. man said I was spamming the chat. Aspie obviously is through as well. He was the first one to go through. So Aspie's in the semis as well. They're going to face each other. And this just means that, one of our players are going to get knocked out. And they're going to have to come home and start training for that game against Villarreal. So, part of me does want brothers to drop out because I don't want any injuries. And, we need our team. But it's nice to see someone's going to win it from one of our teams. I'm almost 100% sure someone's going to win it from one of our teams in terms of representing Chelsea. So someone's going to come back to Cobham happy. I don't know whether it will be Mason Mount. I don't know whether it will be Jorginho. I think it will be Jorginho, or it could be Azpilicueta. But we'll see. Also on the agenda, England, of course, they're playing tonight. But more importantly on the agenda, in my opinion, is centre midfield as well, because I've been doing it for a few months now on this channel where I haven't really given you my preferred target. Who do I really want? And that's because I didn't really decide. I was going through loads of people's options, looking at different players. Everybody's doing their shouts for Locatelli, Tchouaméni, Declan Rice, etc. Christensen, even people have been saying potentially let's move him, let's move Reece James, let's not even sign anyone. Some people said let's just use Gallagher or use Loftus-Cheek or Chaloba. I did a top 6 the other day. Top 6 most likely people to replace Gilmour in that midfield as the 4th option. And the player that I'm going to give you is not even on this list. It's a very underrated, I think, underspoken about player that I feel we should be targeting. And this is my new first choice. Will I tell you now? No, I won't tell you now. I'm going to leave it for a second. I'm going to wait for the other guys to join because I don't want to tell you because I want to see who they want first, and then I'm going to reveal who I want, and then we'll go from there. So we'll start with what we saw yesterday. Yeah, listen, Jorginho and Barella. I saw a lot of people giving him a lot of praise on the TL. Very impressed. No, it's not Bellingham. BP Productions is trying it. He's trying to do the guessing game. It's not Bellingham, bro. I'm not going to do it right now. Really, really, really good performance from Italy, man. Insigne, what a goal. What a goal, man. Curler into the far corner. And I never get tired of Thibaut Courtois, his face just dropping. You know that face that he makes when he's pissed? I never get tired. I never get tired of that face. That his face just gets that little bit longer. And it just the whole face just drops in disappointment. And I never get tired of it. I'm sorry. People are saying we should forgive him, we should move on. I hold a grudge with this guy. I'm sorry. I'm never going to forgive him. I'm never going to move on. I'm always going to dislike him. And I think as long as you don't cross that line as a football fan where you start abusing players, which you should never do, having a little bit of a hatred or a beef for a player, it's not really that deep. Do you know what I mean? As long as you don't cross the line, it's football. Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira never liked each other on the pitch. Now they're sitting in the studio. Don't take the tribalism out of football. Do you know what I mean? It's not everybody should be friends. We have a reason not to like him. We don't like him. It's simple as that. No likey, no lighty. It's simple as that. So, do you know what I mean? It's not a problem. Ignore that. Tammy is better than Haaland. Hajir, I swear to God, today, please, just no stinky opinions in the chat today. What do you mean, Tammy? Matisse, recognize me. You aren't Aunt Rice. Oh my goodness, man. These brothers are hilarious. It's not clearly an obvious target that I haven't already seen mentioned on the TL. So you don't need to worry. I'm not giving you someone that you guys have already heard of. So it will be an interesting discussion and a new player that no one seems to be talking about. Hence why I said he's underrated and underspoken about. That's the 4th time in a row. Let me make this very clear, people. That's the 4th time in a row that Jorginho has pocketed Kevin De Bruyne in a football match. Now, listen, I love Kevin De Bruyne, great player. I was very, I was quite, not sad. Well, I was quite sad for him actually, and quite, giving my condolences to him when he came off injured in the Champions League final. You guys saw the live stream if he was watching. I wasn't, doing that celebrating people get injured shit. I don't do that. Very, very much sad for him because look, no one wants to miss out on a big game, but he's been pocketed now quite a few times. Do you know what I'm saying? This comment, I didn't even read this. Oh my goodness. I'm not even reading that out, man. You man are crazy. But this is the 4th time he's pocketed him. And do you know what I mean? I only have to reference big up Gab Marcotti and Pat Nevlin. The ride or dies from the beginning. Anybody in the J5 Hive, your time to shine, people. The stocks are high. Remember against West Brom? You remember those dark days against West Brom? We had to come out here and yeah, we had to criticize them, but we had to make sure that the slander didn't go overboard. Remember that day? Do you remember that day? Now look at us. Top of the world, people. Top of the world. Do you know what I find so interesting about the Chelsea fan base for a second? This Chelsea fan base is hilarious, right? Mid-season, or not even mid-season, even against West Brom, everybody was saying we need new midfielder. We need new midfielder. Jorginho, Kovacic, not good enough. We need new midfielders. That we should either sell one of them. We definitely need a new midfielder. They're playing brilliantly now, Jorginho. Granted, I love Jorginho. Even I'm still saying we need a new midfielder because I just don't think we have the depth to compete. Man, I'm telling you, we don't need anybody. I'm shook. How can we not need anybody? Gilmore's just gone. How can we not need anybody? Because remember, guys, we didn't win the league. We did not win the league. Why was that? Because we weren't good enough. We were well off the pace. Now, part of the reason is that we don't have the bodies to rotate quality players. We're overplaying players. They're getting tired and they're dropping stinkers. And they're, you have to remember, again, I've spoken about this channel before, player welfare. I've spoken about it before, player welfare. And the fact that they have to play all of these games. When was the last time players had a break? Mason Mount probably had about a week off this year. Since last August, player welfare. I've been screaming it. They've been playing week in, week out. Internationals, Club World Cup coming up in Japan, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, international break. If you think we don't need a 4th CM to come into this club, I don't know for you, man. I don't know, because we didn't win the league. So clearly, we can't play Jorginho every game next season. Can't play Kante every game. I've said that before. We shouldn't play Kante every game. It's not Bakayoko. It is. If you think it's Bakayoko, then just leave. Because if you even think I would even bring you down to that level on this channel and make you sit through that, you really think I would suggest Bakayoko to you? Do I have a beef with you? Do I not like you, Dave? I would never do that to you, Dave. I would never treat you like that. But I think Chelsea recognize this issue and they will go and get a centre midfielder. Listen, Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek, Chalobah, Ampadu, those are the 4 I mentioned a couple days ago in a video. Go for it. Prove yourselves in that preseason, 100%. And if you shock some people, if you shock Tuchel and you really step up to a whole new level that we didn't expect you to get to so soon, then he'll make his decision. But right now, as it stands, need a new midfielder because nobody performed out on loan the way they would need to perform for me to be in this Chelsea first team squad. Nobody has hit those heights. It hasn't happened. They've had good loans, but you have to have great loans, Good loans and great loans is 2 different things. Lukaku going to West Brom and tearing it up, Sturridge going to Bolton and tearing it up is two different things compared to what we're seeing these days in terms of loans. And like I said, people, the expectations have risen. This is not Lampard time. This is not transfer ban, no mission statement, no trophies we're going for. Bro, we're playing with someone's job here. Do you want Tuchel to stay or not? You man are playing with them's jobs. Because I want to give this brother everything he needs to succeed. And I mean depth to the high hills, bro. I'm not playing. Because if this brother gets sacked now, I don't know where I'm going to go. I really don't know what's going to go on for me now. I really don't. I see Monster giving you, Rice updates the other day. Apparently, there's going to be a £50 million bid for Declan Rice next week. We shall see. And I expect it, to be honest, with after all these links and everybody telling me that he's going to be, first choice target for Thomas Tuchel and for Chelsea. And that's what I've heard as well. Then I expect a bid. You can't do all of this massaging someone. You know what I mean? Let him get in all the photos of Mason Mount. Let him get in all the photos of Chilwell. Let him comment under Billy Gilmore's Instagram post. You can't let him do all of this and then not even bid for him. Like, that's just embarrassing. You don't even have to bid what you know will be accepted, but you at least have to show Chelsea that you're interested. Because after all this war and after all this argument and after all this debate, for this brother to not even be bid on, imagine if now we didn't even bid on him like Hakimi and then he just went to Man United and Chelsea just never put in a bid. Do you know how mad that would be? That would be hilarious, I'm not going to lie. That would be hilarious. But that would be nuts, yeah? That would be nuts. So, of course, you have to bid. You have to bid because you've just caused too much drama not to, all right? You don't have to bid what will get accepted. Everybody always puts in bids all the time for a fee that is below the belt, in meaning that they know it's not going to be accepted, but they want to publicly show their interest, potentially get the player to force their hand, things like that. But you have to put in a bid now, because if you don't, the brother's done a lot of PR for no reason. And also I saw Football Therapy Yannick upload Calvert-Lewin for Chelsea if Haaland doesn't come through. I haven't watched that yet, so I'm not sure. I don't know any detail in terms of what that link is all about. I don't even know where that came from, but I'll watch that video later. But moving on, like I said, I'm going to circle back because the brothers are not here yet. Imagine, lateness is greatness, Anita and Dami. My goodness, Lord. They are signing a DM for sure if the price is right. But a great performance from Italy and beautiful. Just look, it's a shame that, Lukaku, Eden Hazard on the bench didn't get through. But to be honest, if I had to pick who I'd rather see successful, you guys already know I'm picking Jorginho over Eden Hazard. I love Eden Hazard, but he's not our player anymore. He's not an integral part of that Belgium team in comparison to how he used to be. Like I said to you guys already, he's declined a little bit, or he's hit a little bit of injury, a little bit of loss of form. So he's not the same Eden Hazard. And bro, I need Jorginho. If it's not England, I need Jorginho with that medal around his neck. It's just going to do so much for his value and his stocks. Do you know what I mean? If I've invested in stocks, I want to see those to the moon. Do you know what I mean? I've got an investment here. So that's what I need to see. I'm not from Ghana. That's a rumor. Do you know what? Ghana and Nigeria have always tried to claim me on Twitter. And I'm neither. But it's great. I'll let you guys continue anyway. You guys have seen that I was a bit out of touch with England on the last stream with Eunice and Miz. I stated my case. A lot of people liked it in the comments as well. You guys kind of agreed with me while I'm not really maybe as in touch with England as the next man in terms of, getting really up and amped about the goals that go in and, making it through to the next round like I do with Chelsea. So I am looking for a new nation if things don't work out against Ukraine. So if anybody wants to adopt me, I am from Jamaica, but they're not in the Euros. I'm talking about for the Euros going forward. But yeah, I wasn't born in Jamaica, but my grandma was. So Jamaica is where it started. Do you know what I mean? That's where it started. In backstage, we've got Anita in the building, which means I can finally get to my CM talk and I can reveal. Well, I will reveal soon who I would like to sign. And also, I know Anita is a big F1 fan. So am I. Lewis Hamilton just signed that new contract. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. Anita. Where did that come from? Like, just very quickly before we get back to Chelsea, because I don't know how many guys in the chat follow F1, but
I don't know. But all I do know is I'm in love. I'm in love with Lewis Hamilton. And it's so crazy because I never thought I'd feel this type of way about anyone. Once Eden Hazard left Chelsea, I never thought I'd feel this type of way about anyone. But I'm in love.
Is it that deep, yeah?
Yeah. I can't even lie to you. It's that deep. Mercedes gang till Lewis Hamilton leaves. I don't care. Don't give a heck.
Yeah. I told you the same. So am I. But I'm just shocked. I'm shocked, yeah, that he signed a new contract very quickly for the guys in the chat, because I know I haven't got you into F1 yet, but I will one day. I will get you in there. Slowly, this channel, I will get you. I'm so shocked that he signed a new contract when Mercedes are not at their peak. Like, they're clearly slower than Red Bull. They're clearly struggling. They're having issues with with their, potentially they haven't upgraded. He said they were looking for upgrades. He was saying that, kind of hinted a few weeks ago that Bottas is not helping him carry the team to the points that he needs in terms of finishing first in constructors. And then he goes and slaps down a new contract for 2 more years. I'm like, what? It's great. It's great that he's showing that commitment, though.
You know what it is? Yeah, he's really loyal. And I just found out that, like, his Mercedes, like, inside crew, they have matching tattoos saying loyalty. So I'm guessing it has something to do with that. And maybe Bottas is out of a contract soon, because that guy...
Listen, I've had a Bottas agenda for a very long time. I can't lie. He should not be in a Mercedes seat. He's not good enough.
I've really been trying to back him for so goddamn long. Now I'm over it. Bro, I'm over it. You're not giving us the points. Lando Norris is ahead of you, my G. Why is that? Why is that? No disrespect to Lando, he's a great driver, but why is that?
He's not good enough, Anita. He should be finishing 4th at the very worst. Very worst. Minimum 4th. Because you're looking at, okay, cool, Red Bull got more power, so Hamilton is dropping to 2nd, Perez is leapfrogging you. Perez is a great driver. I loved him on Drive to Survive, knew about him from time. Loved him. Chico, listen, love him. Great driver, underrated, brilliant in the rain, just a great guy as well. And really the perfect second driver to Max in terms of team play. But when it comes to Bottas, I've had an agenda for years. He does not deserve that seat. And man, I'm like, oh, you're too mean with Bottas. Don't be like that. It's not easy being in Hamilton's shadow. If Rosberg can grind out a win and retire, then I expect a minimum, a bit of competing from you. You're in the same car. You're in the same car.
The thing about Bottas is, like, he does see everything that we say. Like, he doesn't understand that he is the second driver, and he wants to try. And if you watch Drive to Survive, like, you can see, like, he actually wants it. He really wants it. But now I'm just thinking, maybe what you want isn't good enough. Maybe
George Russell in the building.
Listen, George Russell has been slutting it for Mercedes. Did you see him quote tweet Mercedes as well? I was like, bro, if you want the job, just apply. You're making it so bait for everyone to see. Like,
my friends love George Russell. Do you know what, guys? Let me know in the chat if you want a live show a week for F1, because I will do that. I will do that because I feel like, look, with this channel you can see it already. We got a London show. We dip and dabble into other clubs. We got Man City with the All Boys. I will do it because I could do the F1. I could cover the F1 on the roundabout. I could cover it, but I would love to cover F1 in a proper hour show. I get Lawrence, who loves Ferrari. I do the whole thing. I'll start going into F1 then and start finding people, journalists. I know journalists in F1. I can bring them on. I can do that.
Journalists in F1.
Yeah, man, we can get it done.
Ones.
Yeah, I do know one Sky Sports one. Yeah. So we can get that done. We can get that done. All right. So yeah, let me know in the comments after this stream so I can get the playback and get everybody's feelings for it. And then if that's the case, rest of the season we'll have an F1 show, because I love F1, man, and I need a reason to stay updated as well, because football's good, but Chelsea are not on right now. But anyway, back to Chelsea.
Just before we go back to Chelsea, people in the comments talking about my nationality. I'm Nigerian. I will never give up Nigeria. Nigeria is my hometown. It's my country. Yeah, I'm not Matisse here. I'm not Matisse here giving up England. I'm not Matisse here. Yeah, when we went up to Argentina in 2018, real tears. I cried. I cried that day. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm born and bred in Nigeria.
Love that. And do you know what? Finally, just before we move on to back to Chelsea, I'm so happy that Silverstone is going to have full capacity crowd, man.
Damn, I want
to go. I want to go.
No, are you on it? Because I really want to go.
But is there tickets though? Is there tickets and can I afford it? These are the questions you have to ask.
No, the tickets are mad. And that's why everyone said I'm mad for even wanting to go. But I don't care. I want to go. Do
you want to start it tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow I can't tomorrow.
Oh, we can't tomorrow. All right, maybe next week. Maybe because then Silverstone next week.
Silverstone's next week, yeah.
Perfect time to start it. And then I promise you guys, next season when the F1 calendar actually starts, I'll make sure I have the whole show patterned, intro, music, the panel, journalists coming on, everything. But because it's starting kind of soon, then man, it will be a quick thing. It will be a bit rushed. But yeah, we'll get that started then. So we'll try and get the F1 show started next week, John Nick. All right, because that's sick. But anyway, back to that. No other sports. Don't recommend other sports right now. All right. That's just the beginning. That's the beginning for this channel. We have to do it slowly. Moving on, because I know the guys are restless. They want to get back to Chelsea. Anita, have you? All right. Obviously, first of all, did you see Jorginho's Euros performance?
Wow, what a player! What a player he is. Like, you know, every time I watch him, like on the ball, whether he's doing an interception, whether he's passing, I'm just like, wow, you know, I'm just like, wow, that's my boy, you know? How did I ever doubt this guy? This guy, he's just aged like fine wine. Like, he's absolutely amazing. I mean, I love him. He's had such an amazing season as well. Like, let's not even credit his season at Chelsea. Like, his season was absolutely great once Lampard left. And he showed us in this Italian team why Chelsea fans need to be patient and need to not jump on him every single time, because when it matters, he is the best player on the pitch, and he proved that with Italy.
He's had an incredible 2021, man. I'm very proud and impressed, because once again, Jorginho keeps defying the odds against him and bouncing back from the struggle. Do you know what I mean? I remember against West Brom, this live chat were absolutely killing him. This brother had no stocks. He needed to be sold. People were restless and tired with him. And now, not only has he become what seems to be a certified starter in the starting 11 for the first game of the season, which I think he more than deserves to partner Kante in that midfield for the first game, regardless of who comes in. But there's even brothers telling me that they don't even need to see him. Anita, what do you make of the midfield makeup? Do we need to sign someone? Do we need to bring up Gallagher? Do we need to bring up Loftus-Cheek? Ampadu, Chalobah? What would you do at this current moment right now?
I feel like people say we don't need one. Guys, it's
we
nice.
We have one of the Jorginho killers now.
Oh my God. Let's get Dami on the conversation.
See, I'm not in the mood. I can't lie. Jesus Christ. Honestly, Uber, fam. Oh my God. Wow. I don't even know where, fam. These man made me walk a mile and a half. Are you mad?
What happened?
Bro, so basically, obviously, I knew we were streaming at 12 minutes. I said, come. I had an event, 9 o'clock. So I was up early in it. Sports event, for matter of fact. I've been playing sports for like 2.5 hours. I said, come. When I finish, we'll manage to take like the Uber back and whatnot. The Ubers, they were moving mad with price. You know what? When he does the surcharge, he did 2.5. I said, you know what? It's calm because I'm tired, innit? This done, the guy was like 2 minutes away. This Don cancels. I said, all right, calm. This guy took 6 minutes to get there.
Oh no, one of those
Not
ones.
Only when he cancelled, Uber debited my blood clot.
Oh Lord.
No, but the thing is, like, that's if I cancel. Why is he cancelling and I'm the one feeling the then another Uber comes around there, another one comes. This nigga, I saw him in 4K. He cancelled in front of me, fam. He cancelled in front. I saw this nigga in 4K. He cancelled in front of me, man.
Oh, do you think it's a racism thing? Do you think is it a racism thing?
Bro, he's black. Bro, I saw this nigga in 4K. He cancelled in front of me, man. Then I had to walk the mile and fam. And do you know what? They debited me for that as well. I didn't crack.
Do you know what? I know you're struggling with Uber because I remember I was getting an Uber back from Stratford because I was getting the iMac fixed, which is why my videos were so delayed for the viewers. I was getting my iMac fixed and it had to get fixed in Stratford because that's where it was bought. So I had to get from Stratford all the way back to South. And you know Uber, they don't know about central London traffic. They just take the route. So they're gonna go through Tower Bridge and Popular and all this nonsense and take me through there. We're sitting in traffic and I say to the boss, I'm like, yo, spin this car around and take me through the Blackwall Tunnel and through ends because it's faster. Don't take me through all of this nonsense that you're trying to do up in Central. And because then when I get home, I'm like, all right, cool. That was meant to be 25 quid. Brother bills me for 40 because it took so long. I was like, you are the one that chose this route. You chose this route. Bro, why am I getting billed? Why am I getting billed because you decided to go through Central London in rush hour? Are you stupid?
And why am I getting billed £10 because I had to walk to my gaff? Why am I getting billed £10? What's going on with that?
Guys, don't you know the art of complaining? Listen, there was one time I was coming home from my ex's house. He lives in Essex. I live in Thamesmead. Oh, where did my screen go? Yeah, he lives in Essex. I live in Thamesmead. We went through the ferry at 1 a.m. I looked at him. I said, do you think the ferry is going to be open at 1 a.m.? He was there driving around trying to find a way through the ferry. I said, do you think we're going to drive through water with this car? And he kept driving round and round and round and round. And then he decided to go through Blackwall Tunnel, which I told him on Saturday, Blackwall Tunnel closes at 1 a.m. We ain't going to make it.
Oh, no.
And then he goes, maybe we should go through Rotherhithe Tunnel. We went for Rotherhithe Tunnel. My total bill, £87. I called Uber. I said, look at all of the circles in the map that we went through. Look at all the circles that we went through. And tell me I deserved it. Tell me I deserve it. They gave me every single penny back. That's ridiculous. No.
I saw this nigga in 4K. He was right there. He was right there.
You had an anxiety attack. Tell him. I don't want to hear it.
Anita, he was right there. He was right there. I saw him. He saw me. I saw him, and he cancelled. And they charged me.
Facts. This is facts. Kevin said, champions of Europe. We know what we are.
I thought black cabs were bad. Uber.
Do you know what? Dami, speaking of wasted money as well, I didn't get to speak about this with you guys before we go back to Chelsea, right? They handed this German privileged at a Euro game girl 20k for crying, bro. I'm ready to start acting lessons so soon.
I can't lie to you. This sport is finished. For me,
you mad?
For me personally, yeah. People calling her the N-word, innit, is a bit wild. The German N-word. That's wild. But she's crying. Okay, and then what next? It's sport. I cried in 2008 and I was laughed at. Is it because I'm black and a man? Come on now. What's going on with that?
You've got to
experience heartbreaking football. That's just how it is. There's no. It's all about equality in it. Isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that what we're doing in 2021? So how come I didn't get money when I cried? Okay, what's going on with that? When we were all shitting ourselves on stream, how come we didn't get? What's going on with that, man?
Run me my check for the Lampard goal that didn't cross the line, please.
Yeah. And people are asking what the German N-word is. You know, Hitler and them, man.
Yeah, we're not doing that. That's why Google's exist. Don't Google it. But I have to ask a serious question now because Chelsea Chelsea CM talk is back in the cut before we move on to England. Yeah. Anita and Dami, I kind of posed the question, but I didn't get to finish it. So what would you guys do if you used Thomas Tuchel? Because this is where the debate seems to be currently on Twitter, right? Since Billy Gilmore went out on loan to Norwich, would you sign a CM? And I want to know who you would sign. I want to know your first choice target, if you got one. Would you bring through Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, Chalobah, and Purdue? Which one are you going with? Which one? It's Judgment Day. That's it. I'm done tiptoeing around because I got my new target now. I've decided who my new target is.
Do you know what it is for me? Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. All these names you've mentioned, yeah. You mentioned Loftus-Cheek. I don't see working in the position that we need. Do you know what I'm saying? Respectfully speaking, I don't see working in the position we need. You mentioned, who else did you mention? Gallagher. You mentioned some other. See, none of these men were on Gilmore level, and Gilmore went out on loan. So for me personally, if you're not going to get someone that's at least as good as Billy Gilmore, Chalobah is good. Do you know I'm coming from? Chalobah is quite good. But at the end of the day, I'm not really going to be out there doing the other thing. Do you know what I'm saying? For me, it doesn't make sense for us to not sign a DM. Now, when you ask me who should we sign, that's where the problem comes into play. Because For me, stop this thing, man. Stop this thing, man. Stop this thing, man. Ruben, loop them cheeks. You might leave this guy alone, man. What's going on with that? But when it comes to the midfield thing, obviously, all of us here have been seeing the back and forth. You know, I left Twitter since yesterday or 2 days ago. I've not been on that platform since I buried a certain individual. But at the end of the day, for me personally, man, them are talking. I don't want to mention names, innit? No free clout. But at the end of the day, for me personally, like, I don't know, innit? People are talking about Declan Rice being the main target. People are talking about Declan Rice being the main target, okay? People are talking about Tchouaméni being the main target. Initially, I was thinking, these guys are a bit young, innit? I'm not sure if I want to get younger boys into the team when we've got like a title run going. But I deeped it, and I said, it's not like we don't got experience there already. So, Bakayoko, sorry, bro. Keep your blue or green hair, whatever the thing you did yesterday. I'm not getting involved with that. But with regards to this midfield thing, honestly, I would take any target that Chelsea sign right now, to be honest. It's not like our midfield is lacking that much. Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante, they are very good. The only problem is that they can get injured. There's quality there. We just need to make sure we've got a decent enough backup. And maybe if you sign Rice, I think we can't really do too badly in this department. Tchouaméni is an option. You've got the Rice of Declan Rice being an option. There's the Atletico Madrid guy. That's very, very slim.
You was battling with method, was it?
Was it?
You was battling with method, CFC method.
I didn't battle with anybody. I buried human beings yesterday, fam. There's a difference. There's a big difference. So, but nah, you get where I'm coming from. So that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. For me, I know that's not the answer you wanted, but I can't. It's hard.
I wanted you to make a decision.
Okay, if I had to make a real decision, then as long as Declan Rice is not more than 55 million, I'll be calm.
For who?
For Declan Rice. If he's not more than 50 million, then I'm okay.
All right, cool. Anita, what about you? What would you go with? I've seen Kamara in the chat. I've seen Verratti, which is not going to happen. I need realistic targets, people. Not Pogba, not Verratti. Realistic.
When you say never to Verratti, you never know.
I'm not saying, listen, Verratti would be brilliant, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
We need realistic ones, not dreams. Not dreams.
I'm telling you guys for a fact, my stance hasn't changed.
Okay.
I still want Declan Rice.
Wow, we got 2 for Declan Rice.
My stance has not changed. I want
incredible
for the right price. Declan Rice. Yeah.
Interesting.
Anita looks and sounds like an African auntie right now.
Your screen's gone all blurry.
I want Declan Rice. I want Jollof and chicken. I want plantain on the side. I want rice and yam. I want all these things.
Rice and yam.
I meant to say rice and beans. Sorry, not rice and yam. Not rice and
yam. I don't like rice and beans. No, but real talk. Declan Rice, like I've told you guys several times, that Declan Rice is the person that comes into this team and just slides in like a glove. And the thing is, I don't think you'd even mind having to be on the bench sometimes. You know, we need someone.
You would have to be on the bench.
Yeah, someone that's going to be able to take that pride and sit on the bench for a while, and that's him. You know.
Mod mentioned. I'm going to just start name dropping. I don't care. Mod mentioned Ndidi yesterday on Twitter, and got into a little bit of a back and forth with him. I really don't want Ndidi. 2 reasons. One, he's going to be probably more expensive than Declan Rice. You've seen the way Leicester operate. They charge a pretty penny for everybody that comes out of that club. So if you think Ndidi's going to be cheap, it's not going to be like that. And second of all, if you want someone that's good on the ball and that can, spray passes about, press resistant, Declan Rice has definitely for me got more potential on the ball than Ndidi does. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I saw in 4K on the opening day of the season for Frank Lampard, Mount just take the ball off this brother. And like Leicester don't play a possession-based system. They don't. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of been involved in counter-attacking or, do you know what I mean? Just playing quick counter-attacks for a lot of his Leicester career. I don't really see him being that guy that you want to drop deep and pick up the ball. Because remember, we're looking for a sitter here. If this was Conte time, I would say, yeah, go get Ndidi, because we're not really looking to play with the ball. But if you want Ndidi to start getting on the ball and making triangles and getting pressed in tight areas, great defensively, great tackler, really mobile, all that stuff, brilliant. But possession-wise, I would be worried. With him and Kante in midfield, that wouldn't be for me. Bakayoko obviously is a no. My first choice target, which is new, that I haven't seen nobody mention, is Bissouma. Correct. You've guessed right, David. Bissouma from Brighton. This is a player that nobody's talking about Bissouma, and I don't know why, because in terms of the blend between what everybody seems to be looking for with Tchouaméni and Rice, Bissouma is kind of in the middle, where he's very mobile, like Tchouaméni, very press resistant, good on the ball. He's played in a possession-based system. He's played in the same formation at Brighton that we play here. Brighton play good football. He's not going to cost a lot as well. Not going to cost a lot, because Brighton seem to be willing to sell him for maybe, I don't know, maybe 40 M's. He doesn't sound, or 35, 40 M's. I know Arsenal are interested. Apparently he's an Arsenal fan. I'd love to pinch him. And you're saying he's too small, but Makelele wasn't the tallest either. Do you know what I mean? Not that he's anything like Makelele, but your midfield doesn't have to be tall. Now, obviously, I've said in the past, it would be nice to have that profile, but you can't have everything in the world. Do you know what I mean? He's very good on the ball. He's very press resistant. I think Bissouma would be a very good signing, man. I really do.
You know my thing with Bissouma is Matisto. I hear that shout. But for me personally, like I feel like Bissouma's ceiling is not that far away, in my opinion. I feel like he doesn't really, obviously, like he's a good player. You know what I'm saying? If you sign him, he'd be good at, like, he's very good on the ball. He'd come into Chelsea. You'd feel his impact whenever he plays. He brings a different dynamic to that midfield. But when I look at Rice and I look at Tchouaméni, I'm looking a bit more longer term. Bissouma is young.
Bissouma's like 24. He's a bit older than these guys.
Yeah, he's a bit older than them. And I'm not saying that he's that much older, but I just feel like his ceiling is way closer. My thing with Rice is I've chosen Rice because I'm not one of them. You know, some people tell you, "Raw." You know, you're trying to do stuff with your friends. They're like, "Raw, do we go Chinese?" And then you say no. They ask you for an option, and the person can produce an option. I'm not one of them people. Do you know what I'm saying? If I have no other alternatives, then I'm just going to stick to what's popping around. My thing with Rice is that I feel like he's a bit more reserved on the ball. He's not as outgoing. He's not very confident on the ball when I see him. And I'm not sure how you feel at Chelsea, but I feel like there's more space to grow for him.
There is a lot of space to grow.
Yeah, exactly. But Bissouma is a bit more set in stone. So for me, I think
Tuchel could rise his game to another level, though. Definitely.
Of course, I mean, Tuchel will rise everybody's game. But my thing is, like I said, that ceiling, I think Bissouma has a ceiling is way closer than the others in it. So that's my opinion. But I wouldn't be upset if we signed him. I can't lie.
Someone's saying that Bissouma doesn't bring the leadership and personality that Rice will bring. Yeah, Rice is going to bring more of that. And that's why I'm not saying he's like perfect. He's not got everything. I don't think anybody is going to be able to give me a target that's everything ticked off. Like I said, I'm going with the fact that he's a bit more, he can maneuver a bit under the press a bit better than Rice. I think he's got that low sense of gravity about him. He's very press resistant, and he's played in our formation, plays under a team that play possession-based football. So I think the adaptation might even be a little bit quicker. And I think just in terms of the whole package, the price as well. Again, I'm looking at the price. The price is quite good. I think Bissouma is just a very solid signing. If you're looking, especially when you're talking about depth. Do you know what I mean?
Just a question. What are Bissouma's strengths? Sorry.
For me, press resistant, very good, ball carrier as well. Looks looks like a solid passer as well. I think he can improve the pass and take it to another level, much like really all of these, Tchouaméni and Rice, they can all take their passing to another level as well. Yeah. Good in a tackle as well. Good with the duels. He's got the defensive capabilities to win the ball back and all these kind of things, the blindside tackle, these kind of things as well that Kante is obviously the master of. So, and he's not really assured DM. Maybe he's not really just a sitter, because with all these guys, if you're a little bit mobile, then you have the capabilities to do a little bit of a wonder every now and then. We've seen it even with Rudiger. So because he's not, a Matic type mold like a Declan Rice, which is kind of the where I'd hope Declan Rice would go into is like an Nemanja Matic, then he can go forward a little bit. But when you're playing three at the back, I feel like it's not as deep that you have two mobile guys in there than if he's playing a 4-3-3 and it was a lone DM. If it was a lone DM, then you have to sit. Do you know what I mean? But I think in this kind of thing, you can kind of take turns sitting. But he's very good with his duels. Definitely going to help us get the
is, right? You've named his strengths, and we've got three other players who have those strengths. What Declan Rice brings is he's I don't know. Like when it comes to being holding and when it comes to that defensive type of prowess that we kind of lack in midfield, he's that. If you want someone to sit in front of the back three and just hold it there, he is that player. And that's the type of player. That's why I say he doesn't, necessarily start every single match, but he comes in off the bench if we're, ahead by 2-1 or something. He comes in to make sure we have that defensive barrier with our back three as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I think our back three is solid, but it's not, concrete enough. Like, who's going to be covering Thiago Silva if Thiago Silva happens to make a mistake? Who's going to be covering Rudiger? Because Rudiger, he loves to go up front.
Bissouma could easily cover for these guys, I think.
Yeah.
He's even more mobile than Declan, to be fair.
Yeah, but at the same time, Declan Rice, he has experience playing centre back. He has that sort of versatility also. And I get the Bissouma shouts. I've been hearing it for a couple of months actually. One of my mates has been saying it as well. I get it. And I wouldn't be too mad at it, but I feel like Declan Rice has the one thing that, the other three don't, which is the ability to just sit there and actually, be that defensive barrier and fall into centre-back when we are lacking in options. He is that option. And I feel like it's really smart, but obviously price means everything. And I'm not paying 80 million for a Declan Rice. I'm not even paying 60 million, 50 million at best for a Declan Rice,
I think he's going to cost more than 50. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. But if Declan Rice was like a 40 million type of player, then, we'd get him easy. It wouldn't even be a debate. Like, we would have got him probably last summer. So that's the only problem. People are talking about Locatelli as well. Fucking hell.
Locatelli's already moving on to. I saw them yesterday. I saw some news yesterday. He's not coming.
Someone said, "Brother, forget versatility. McTominay can play centre back."
Oh my days.
And McTominay played centre back well.
Anita, you are my favourite Chelsea panelist anywhere ever. Love that. There's the love. Look at that.
My thing is like, even with Rice, and this is where, because people always tell me, oh, me like this and right. And people always ask for my opinion. Like I said, with Rice here, am I the only one that's looking at this? Because people are expecting Rice to just come in and be able to do a lot of things that want him to just come in and sit.
He's coming in as a student.
Thank you very much. That's the terminology. Do you know what happened? You know how Chilwell started off? You know how Chilwell was a bit shaky? Expect Rice to be more of the same and a bit more as well. Do you know where I'm coming from? But at least with the left position, he's kind of doing something very similar to what he already did at Leicester. But with Rice, it's no longer about, you see what he does for England. Yeah, he had a good game against them when he was on the yellow card for like 80 minutes. He had a very good game there. Yeah? But you saw how he played. With Chelsea, you're going to do a lot more progression from that midfield area. Kante has never been his strong point, but he's been forced to improve on that. That's what Jorginho does, like in his sleep. You know what I'm saying? We saw him yesterday, Maradista and whatnot. We saw Kovacic. So that's what Kovacic does. So Rice coming in, as much as we can say, yeah, we are winning up 2-1 and we've got to sort of hold the ball. We don't do that at Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't do that. You're going to need to be able to do some form of intricate technical progression. Do you know what I mean? Kante has been forced to do it. Rice is going to have to do it. But do I see him doing it in less than 12 months? Absolutely not. Maybe he might prove wrong if he does sign, but that's just what it is. And that's the problem. He said 60 to 80 million for a student. That's where the problem lies.
Do you know what I like about Bissouma as well? Is because of the mobility, it balances out Jorginho and Kovacic. You've got Kante and Bissouma, and then you've got Jorginho and Kovacic. Because Jorginho and Kovacic are not your most mobile players. Do you know what I mean? They're more a little bit more, cultured, and they kind of like they play the game at their own tempo. Do you know what I mean? They're those type of players. Whereas Bissouma and Kante, they will create the tempo into another level that man don't even want to go to on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? They'll make things speed up. So that's the kind of balance that you're getting there as well. And someone said it rightly in the chat. Potter's used Bissouma in many types of ways. He's had him as the sitter. He's had him as the carrier. Whatever you want, he's been. And it's just, for me, it's the close control and the way that he gets himself out of tight situations as well, which I would worry about Declan because he's not as mobile as Bissouma, and then I don't know, he hasn't really been put in those situations as often as a Jorginho. So he's gonna have to learn something. He's gonna learn some things from Jorginho 100% because you've seen it with England. When put in a possession-based team and asked right now, you got to dictate things. It's not the most comfortable, but someone did a really good thread on it on Twitter. Is that He might not be the most comfortable at doing it now in terms of getting the most touches and dictating and setting up attacks and all these kind of things right now when you have the most of the ball. But he does have the potential to do it. He does have the passing range to do it. He does have the passing technique, I think, to do it as well. And Tuchel's coaching.
Would that be his role?
I think in a team, Chelsea, when they have because remember, people when we had Mikel for Chelsea, we didn't always it's just my camera. We didn't always look to play possession football. We had Jose Mourinho, do you know what I mean? Sometimes we countered, but it's very clear now under the last 3 managers that Chelsea are going in a direction of playing with the football, possession-based football. So if you're going to play possession-based football, most time, whether it's Busquets or whoever it is in that deep line playmaker, defensive midfield position, they're going to have to drop into, the centre back, or they're going to have to start attacks. They're going to have the most touches. They're going to have to create triangles. They're going to have to get on the ball. This is why Pep wanted Jorginho. If we weren't playing,
that's a Jorginho role,
Yeah, but if Jorginho was to fall injured, who's going to do it? Who's going to do that role?
We literally have Kovacic, who Sarri, tried to train up into that role. We've seen Kovacic come in this season doing that role. Like, again, we're not trying to create a carbon copy of the midfield. Again, like, I'm not trying to see repetitive shit, Like, I'm trying to see different options. Like, having the same type of options on the bench is not healthy. Like, that's not a healthy thing for me. Like, Declan Rice, I'm not saying like he's the best midfielder that we're going to see. No, I'm not saying that. And again, I stress he's probably not going to start every single game. But when you want somebody who just brings that bridge across that back three, it's going to be him. Like, at the end of the day, Declan Rice and Jorginho, they can play together. And I'm not saying they can play together for 90 minutes. No one wants to see that. But they can play together, and Jorginho will still be the person pulling the strings in midfield. Declan Rice will be more of, the sitting type of player. And a lot of people do want to see Jorginho get up the pitch a bit more, and that gives him the opportunity to, because he's reliable defensively. And this whole thing about Declan Rice not being comfortable on the ball is such a myth. Like, it's actually just a myth. And I blame Gareth Southgate, because the matches that we've watched, it's highlighted it's highlighted this myth that everyone's bringing up, right? It's like Declan Rice, he is that player that Gareth Southgate wants to be like Jorginho. Gareth Southgate has put him in a position to receive the ball, pass the ball. He's not that type of player to be dictating play, but that doesn't mean he's not comfortable on the ball.
Anita.
But no, look at him at West Ham.
But once he puts on the blue jersey, he's going to need to do that. That is the conversation.
Once he puts on the blue jersey, he's not going to be the one dictating play. If he puts on the blue jersey, he's not going to be the player dictating play. We've all agreed it's going to be.
All right, so I have to ask this question, right? I have to ask this question because our formation is. I love this formation because it shows very quickly. It can go tits up very quickly. This formation, you either play sideways and you don't play progressive and you don't put the ball in between the lines and you don't find Mount and Kai Havertz in the half spaces and get them turning, and you play sideways to the wing backs and you go back and forth and red and we don't go anywhere, or you play at a quick tempo in between the lines, you get people turning, and it becomes a brilliant formation where it's very attacking, in my opinion, with the wing backs pushed up, but it can go tits up very quickly. Declan Rice is not going to be able to just, for me, I didn't make the Mikel comparison because Mikel can't pass. Mikel was a great passer on the ball, but Mikel played in a 4-3-3 where he had Ballack or Lampard and others where he actually only just had to play it simple if he wanted to and keep it ticking and just make sure he's shielded because we had other options. But because that midfield, because we've got 3 at the back and that midfield is just down to a 2, those half spaces ahead of them, you've got to find them. And obviously, the centre-backs can find them as well, whether it's Christensen, Rudiger. But those centre midfielders are expected to find them as well. If Kante, say you're partnering Kante and Rice in midfield, which one of them is going to progress the ball through the lines consistently?
But the problem is you wouldn't partner Kante and Rice in midfield. You wouldn't do that.
But is that not what we're looking for? Because you
guys are looking for a midfielder to partner Kante. Is that
in my opinion, we are, because Jorginho partners Kova, and Kova and Kante are both ball carriers in different ways. Jorginho is a sitter, so we need someone else who can sit.
Okay.
But the thing is, Anita, once again, but like you said, if you're not partnering Rice with Kante, you're not partnering Rice with Jorginho. Are you going to only partner Rice?
No, I just said Rice and Jorginho can play together. I just said
so who would be
hold on. And also, Rice and Kovacic can play together. I have said this.
Okay,
but
all right.
In this stream, they can play together. My only thing is, I don't think Rice starts for the team, and I repeated that several times. Rice comes in a situation where things are looking shaky, and we need that solidity. That's when he comes in.
I agree. And you know the
role. He's not a dictator of play. None of that. That is his role. A sitting midfielder. And all of that breaking the line stuff, watch West Ham. He can do it.
I hear that.
He can do it. The only problem with this is the price tag. The price tag is overrating him. And I get it. But he can do it. The thing is, I'm not keen at all paying 80 million, 60 million for someone that's going to have to progress. I'm not keen on it at all. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, don't disrespect him, because he's been doing everything that you said he can't do at West Ham. Just because he's not doing it at the highest of levels doesn't mean that he can't progress to do that, to be that player. Do you understand? Like, he can play with Kovacic, he can play with Jorginho. I personally wouldn't pay him against Kante because that's way too defensive. So that's how I see it.
I see it a little bit differently, because Rice for England and for West Ham has been sitting, and Souček and Phillips has been the one roaming. So the only person I can see partnering Rice with realistically is either Kante or Kova, because they're the ones that are going to do the roaming and Rice is going to do the sitting. That's why I say he's got to be learning quickly how Jorginho operates as a sitter on the ball. Off the ball, Rice as a sitter is going to be a shield. Like you said, he's going to...
When Kovacic and Kante play together, what's the dynamic there?
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of it. So, do you know what I mean? It's work.
Bears, so
I'm not
the dynamic there.
I'm not the biggest fan of it. Well, the dynamic there is that Kova sits, but I don't really see Kova as that sitter. I don't, because defensively, awareness-wise, tracking your runners and just, knowing what's about you, he's not that like Jorginho is better than him at that. It's just that Jorginho is not mobile. But if you had to choose, he is. Jorginho is not winning. Jorginho is not coming top of the Champions League for tackles and interceptions for no reason, Anita. Jorginho is more, for me, Jorginho is more aware defensively than Kova. It's just that Jorginho doesn't have the mobility.
Bro.
You don't see Kova winning. You don't see Kova up there for tackles and interceptions that much. You don't. You never do. It's always Kante and Jorginho for good reason.
What the thing is, no, this is getting me.
For Jorginho to be playing the deepest for Italy, for Jorginho to be playing for the deepest for Italy and the deepest for Sarri, he has to have more defensive awareness than Kova.
Wait. I'm not denying that Jorginho is very good defensively. Yeah, I'm not denying it at all. But
you think
2 years ago when we signed this guy, a couple years ago when this guy was signed, the one thing Chelsea fans were saying defensively, this guy's ass. 2019.
I didn't say that. You ain't hear that shit from me.
Hold on. 2019. It was the same thing because he kept losing balls. 2020, same thing again. He kept losing balls. This season, the last season that's just come, he is not immune to that, because even though Lampard attacks, I get it, he still kept losing the ball. Yeah, but I'm not disputing his defensive capabilities.
I want to throw something at you, because, like, once again, I was going to bring up an earlier point, but you guys just cried. You guys left me behind. I was a viewer fan with a mic, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, like, with Jorginho, you also need to remember that Jorginho, like I said, say to people, if Jorginho had 5 extra kilos, 5% more muscle mass, and was 5% faster, the guy would be a lot better. That's the only problem. Okay, defensively, like him or not, Italian this, Italian that, pasta moncha, whatever, call him what you like. defensively, he's aware. The only limitation in his game is his physicality. That's literally all it is. Like Matisse rightfully said, there's a reason why he's so high up when it comes to winning tackles and whatnot. Why does he get so many yellows? Because he's always making those tactical fouls that the other midfielders are not able to.
When he's so high up, right?
When he's high up, and the whole idea of when you lose possession, look at the players that lose a lot of possession. When you get the ball as much as a Jorginho, when you get the ball as much as other players, you are going to lose the ball as well. It's inevitable. If you're going to get the ball 1,000 times and you lose it 200 times, it's going to look a lot worse than someone that gets the ball 100 times and loses it 95 and loses it 5 times. It's going to look a lot worse on paper. So that's just how it's got to be with Jorginho. So for me, going back to the midfield conversation, a lot of things, one thing I've done in my hiatus is watch Chelsea back quite a bit as well. One of the reasons why this midfield conversation has not been so set in stone for Chelsea, everybody can pour out their propaganda on the tail for Rice. And see, we all know how Chelsea operate. Everybody can talk about, they might want Rice, they might want Tchouaméni, they want money. But if Chelsea really had 100% assurance on a certain target for midfield, they would have gone to them. The issue here is that you need a midfielder that can actually do some sort of progression above the pitch. What was the issue with Mount last season? Mount had to keep coming back into midfield to support the two midfielders and do the progression himself.
This is why I suggested Bissouma for the mobility. This is why I suggested
that's why this midfield thing hasn't been so set in stone. If people, I'm not even talking about you, I'm talking about other people on the TL and everywhere, if they watch the games back and they watch what was going on, that's why this midfield conversation is not that straightforward. Because if you think about it, Mason Mount, you need him further up front. Why do you get him out? This is like Eden Hazard all over again. Hazard always used to drop down into the midfield and drop down into defense and pick up the ball. Why do you think most times out of 10, when Mount is in the half space, who is the person that's giving him the ball? Is it not Thiago Silva when he's playing on the pitch? That is the problem there. You need that link. Because like Matisse rightfully said, if you want to do the sideways and across to this fullback and you pass to this midfielder, back to the fullback, midfielder, like you're doing the Samba, the Macarena, you can do that with Declan Rice. But then again, Rice will progress. He will get better. But that's why for me, it's a bit of an issue. So that's why
you want an 8.
Not an 8. You need a midfield. Do you watch Joshua Kimmich against England, for example? Did you see what Kimmich was doing? Up and down. Kimmich could win you the ball, win you the ball instantly, and then he's passing the ball directly into midfield. That's the problem we have with our current midfielders. Jorginho, as good as a passer as he can be, he always liked them kind of passes. How many times do you see Jorginho putting the ball on the ground? How many times do you see him putting in that Thiago Silva-esque direct pass into midfield? That is what we lack. That's why being looked at. That's why I agree with Bissouma, and that's why I can understand Rice in a certain way. But none of those players, maybe apart from Bissouma, maybe Tchouaméni, actually do it often enough as we need. That's why they're not pushing for the recruiting.
Can I ask, right? If you play Jorginho and Rice together, who is the further one forward? Because they're both midfielders that strike me as being the deepest. Jorginho will be higher up, or would he be the deepest?
He'll be higher up.
Because my thing is with Jorginho, I see Jorginho play.
I don't know if I want to see Jorginho higher up though.
The thing is, like, you see, he does it sometimes. He does it for Italy sometimes. Do you know where I'm coming from?
I think he excels. I'm driving up. Like, I think he excels in it. Like, I feel like Jorginho, like, he's a deck of what's the word? Card of all trades or something?
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. He's a jack of all trades.
I wouldn't even call him that. I would call him the complete opposite.
Like, I think he is. He's a jack of all trades in midfield. Like, he can literally do so much in midfield. And that's why I'm confident, even if Rice coming in, everyone's talking about developing players. Tuchel can also develop Jorginho. You know, like, change can happen. But
100% he can develop him.
He can develop anyone, but change can happen. And I'm just like, listen, it doesn't matter who we get at this point, because we're not going to get the Verratti that we want. You know, we're not going to get the Marquinhos that we want. We're not going to get that. And that's okay. So if we can get a Rice at a cheaper version, cool. If we can get a Bissouma at a cheaper rate, cool. Like, either way, it's not that deep. But my only thing is, let's not disrespect Declan Rice, you know? Like, let's not. Let's not say he's not good in the ball. Let's not say that he can't play next to Jorginho or Kovacic, because he can. Yeah, it's the price. I just don't think it's worth it. It's actually
that's what I'm saying. That's all I've been saying. I don't think you buy an iPhone 8 for £900, would you?
God no.
There you go.
I don't even buy an iPhone 8.
They're not going to do that, are you? So I'm just saying.
This super chat says 60 mil is too much for a non-finished product who isn't going to be starting 11 players. Surely we can find a cheaper sitter elsewhere. No Rice for me. That's why, although I've said on this channel many times, you're not going to catch, mad disrespect on Rice's name from me because I can see the potential. I think Tuchel will improve him. He's going to bring things to our team that we don't have, like that height, that physicality, that shielding, that natural shielder who we don't have in the squad. We ain't got a shielder in the squad. Bring him on, 15 minutes to go when we're 1-0 up. It will be a help. Character, all these other things, leadership. But because he costs so much, that's why I gave you guys the alternative of someone that I think is a bit in between Tchouaméni and Rice in terms of Bissouma. He's mobile. He's not expensive. He's got Premier League experience. He's press resistant. So I can trust him to be the sitter because I know he's press resistant. I know he can, even though he's actually quite tall. I don't know why you guys are calling him short. He's fairly tall, decent. He's just average height for a man. Bissouma, it's like 6 foot or something. But I know. I just feel like I know I can trust him to sit because I've seen Potter use him in both ways and he's played our formation. So that's why Bissouma at 24 years old, good age as well, because these guys are all 29, 30. Good age. I just think that's why I've given you guys Bissouma. I just think he's a very he's just a very strong candidate for me for this position in terms of being ready as well. Because Tchouaméni hasn't played in the Premier League before, so he might have to adapt. Rice, do you know what I mean? Hasn't really played in this formation and maybe hasn't played with the possession that we play with as well, the level of possession. Bissouma, you know what I mean? It kind of gives you
any midfielder out of the ones we've mentioned, all of them need to adapt, including Rice. That's the thing that a lot of people. That's why for me, Chief is talking about this privately. That's why did you see super chat stuff like this? What's going on with this? You've hidden me from the whole stream. Now look at you.
I didn't know it was such a big super chat. Sorry.
Now we'll get it up again, but like I said, what's not only my hair showing last? Like, what's going on with this man? Anyways, but now, like I said,
hold on, let me move myself down.
I'm saying there you go. That's why for me it's a bit scary. Matisse moved me. It's just a bit scary. That's why Matisse was talking about this in private. Like, bro, yeah, it's going to be if Rice signs, bro. The war next year, fam. And I know for a fact he's not just going to start off with consistent masterclasses because he needs to adapt. That's the scary part. So let's see how it goes, in it. I'm coming from. It's a bit of a Mussolini still.
Pyramid Scheme says, look into a player called Tune Coop Minions. I don't know who that is, and I can't say it either. 23, holding midfielder, captain, strong and tall and defensive. The defensive Pogba. Wow, that's a big shout. Tackling, dribbling, passing, can play centre back, free kick specialist, hella underrated. I feel like I've heard of him before, but I've never watched him. But let's see what the chat says. Someone said he's a baller. I've never watched him before. Dutch league, yeah, it was looking like a Dutch name as soon as I tried to read it out. Kamara, not that bad. Someone say a lot of shouts for Kamara. I haven't seen too much of Kamara, but he's been someone that everybody's been shouting about for a while. Yeah, Bissouma's not short. Apologies if I did say short. I can't remember, but he does move like as if he's got that low sense of gravity. He's an interesting one. The way that he moves on the ball, he moves like as if he's quite petite, but he's of a decent height and physicality. Wins a lot of his duels as well. Moving on. So we go and turn it up to the England bit for the final part of the show because the England situation is kicking off tonight. First of all, Anita, did you sort yourself out? You going Box Park, living life, all good?
Fam, I've got to freaking do make a TikTok, right? Because I'm working with TikTok, and I gotta make a TikTok, and I gotta get like proper.
Did you see? I like this girl, See how she just came in. I'm doing a little thing with TikTok. She said.
I already knew this, innit? I already knew this. Yeah. She's been doing this.
I didn't see anything. When you what's going on? I left for 1 week and things changed up. What's going on with that? When did you start doing? I'm doing things with TikTok. What's happening there? What's going on? When did you sign up with them?
Anyway, gosh. Anyway, yeah. So I've got to get like proper like atmosphere type of things on my TikTok, and I don't know what to do. Like I'm actually.
Well, you're not going Box Park. You got tickets, right? Yeah.
I got 2 tickets to Box Park Wembley.
That's
just
enough.
2. What do you mean that's enough?
Well, what do you need?
I don't know people.
You and the camera, you and whoever's holding the camera, innit? That's it.
And it's like, I don't know people going Wembley, you know?
Oh. So you're just gonna have to just approach random strangers.
It looks like it, and it's like,
yeah, you're gonna have to be one of them ones, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to just you're gonna huh?
Why don't you go? What are you doing for? Why are you watching it?
Why don't I go? Because the tickets are sold out.
Tickets are sold out.
Tickets.
Huh?
He asked his spare ticket. Am I confused? Wait, what's going on?
No, I'm sure Anita's got someone to go with. She's got bare people that she knows to go with.
Normally I get 6 tickets, yeah. If I had the 6 tickets, I know exactly what I would have done. You know, I know exactly the vibe I would have gone for, and it would have been absolutely lit. Like, it would have been me and my girl, and then the YouTube lot. You understand? That would have been absolutely lit. But then it's like, I have 2. So I just don't know what I'm doing, if I'm being honest, man. It's
that's what I'm saying. Anita got the gold diggers from. You gotta bless them up first. Do you know what I mean?
No, I always bless my gold diggers. I'm trying to, like, you know, bless everybody as much as I can.
I can't even give any blessings because I just don't get anything.
That's what you're asking.
Oh man, but yeah, the England game. I mean, it's rumored that Mason Mount will start.
And Sancho.
It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, who does he come in for is the question, because I think Saka could drop out. Grealish definitely needs to be starting for me. Sterling needs to be starting after the performances he's been putting up in this tourney. Kane is going to start up front, and he just scored, so maybe you've got to take advantage of that. And then, so really, this hints at switching back to a back 4, because I don't see Calvin Phillips and Rice being broken up either, even though this could be an opportunity to play just one DM, but I don't think Southgate's going to do that. So that's probably where Mount comes in, is that he sacrifices the back 3 and goes back to a back 4. And yeah, goes like that. What do you guys make of this? And also, what do you make of seeing like literally none of Chilwell in this tournament? Is that bothering you, or not really too bothered? Because
I feel like he was unfortunate, you know, like with the whole like having to isolate and stuff. I think he's just unfortunate. There are definitely games there where he could have started. I think against Germany he could have started easy, you know, because he's very familiar with a couple of them as well. Like, I think he definitely could have started in that wing back role, 100%. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, isn't it? And Saka's got a knock, so Saka's not starting anyway. If I think leaving Grealish on the bench is a good play.
Really?
I think, Grealish
impact player. Impact player.
Yeah, Grealish come off the bench. And you don't want to risk it and start Grealish and then him have a stinker. And then Gareth Southgate runs the risk of telling people, well, I told you so. And then the rumours that he's starting Sancho, which I don't really want to see.
Really? You don't want to see Sancho? Do you think it's just because he's made his move to Man United, now he plays for a big club?
If anything goes wrong in this match there and Sancho is starting, literally the British press are going to finish him.
Will they though? Surely they're not that stupid. There's no way.
Surely they're not that what?
Nah, that's a silly statement. I take it back.
What's going on? The Sun, the Daily Mail, they exist.
People say Sancho on the right is meh, but his goal contributions from the right or the left is quite equal.
No, this myth that Sancho he can play on the left, yeah, but
he can play on the right as well.
Predominantly.
Yeah, he's always on the right for Dortmund. I don't get this narrative of why he can't play. Why can't he play on the right? It's just maybe if Southgate shags him with a terrible attacking system, then yeah, of course, everybody can look dead in it. But I think he can play on the right, no problem. Tapping Tobes coming with the 3-4 eyes on the. Listen, we can all have glasses on, but at least we have a full head of hair looking all nice, you know, you little bored bastard, eh? Lukaku, what are you saying?
Goddamn.
Toby, always coming onto my stream on smoke, fam.
You guys, Toby snaked you guys. Just putting that
give
out
this
there.
brother some hair, fam. Everybody cut off your hair. Everybody cut off your hair and send it to Toby, fam. Everybody cut off your hair and send Toby something.
Matisse, Toby has tickets for London Bridge, but he's not telling anyone.
What do you mean London Bridge?
Where they're showing the match today.
They're showing the game on the bridge.
No, on a rooftop thing. Ask him. He'll tell you how much he's shaking.
Toby, my friend, my brother.
I wonder if he's gonna kill me.
Maybe you've been experienced.
He's shaking people.
Toby, I've always loved bald people.
That's a bit pause.
Someone called him a wedding crasher in the chat. That's how you know they've been watching the Big Six.
I'm done.
But yeah, I just think when it comes to England, if they don't get to the final, after I got a slot. What's going on here? Yeah, some sort of.
Yeah, I say they counter exposed. What's going on?
Listen, I can't go with it, so everyone's going down.
Captain Toby just did the counter attack real quick, scored on the break. That's what happened there. Yeah, he just did. Yeah, I've seen it all before. Anyway, he just did the Gareth Bale against Inter Milan. That's what he just did. When it comes to England, right? Let's have it right. If they don't make the final now, he needs to go. Like, I don't like to keep doing this. Like, you know, I lie. I do like to keep doing this. He's under pressure in it, and he should be. He's under pressure. He's beating a big team in Germany now. Fantastic. Now you got to take care of business against Ukraine, and then whoever is potentially played in the next round. You can't with the way that we are set up on the route to the final. You can't bottle it from here. You can't. I'm sorry. We have more than enough individual talent and ability in this team to get to the final. And now it's all about management. And this is what separated, the teams that are flopping from the teams that are not. Is Roberto Martinez really good enough to lead Belgium's golden generation when it matters most? Never know. But at least they were playing a strong Italy team. But Italy have shown it's not just about individuals. Yeah, they've got some ballers, but Italy are not the favourites for this tournament before they came here. But they've kicked everybody off the park. Why? Because they've got a good manager. So let's see what happens. Do you know what I mean? He's got to do the business for me and bring this team to the final. That's the only way. And then obviously, if they get to the final, I think Italy will probably do the business and knock them out. But we can only hope. We can only hope that they can turn up in the final, but they have to get to the final. Dami, what about you? What are you feeling for England in this game against Ukraine? You think we're going to see a shock?
The shock, bro. I can't lie to you. Yeah? England tonight. I don't want to be that guy, but these past few games I've been predicting correctly up onto this one. I don't know. I don't want to be that guy. They
lost to Iceland,
I mean, they lost to Iceland, didn't it? For me, I just feel like England can get very shaky tonight. I don't want to be that guy in it. I really don't want to be that guy.
But you're gonna be that guy.
I said, nah, stop it. Let me do some PR before I switch it up. Okay. But like I said, for me, I feel like this Ukrainian team, we should not underestimate them. You got Yarmolenko tearing it up in the previous game as well. That's a danger spot. But England should pull through in it. I expect them to pull through. The only thing I'm going to comment on really is the fact that you say you think Southgate is going to leave if we lose this game. Bro, that guy ain't going nowhere, fam.
He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't get used to his face. I'm telling you, he's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. So I think like the fact that we're also away from Wembley as well, there's no British sort of vibe and whatnot in the stadium. It's going to be an interesting game, innit? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put all my eggs on my still.
Really and truly, yeah. They don't need a vibe because they stunk it out against Scotland with the British vibe. So please, I'm actually like I'm not expecting them to feel any type of way without the pressure. They better just produce because Ukraine, they're in the same boat. Like, they don't have their fans either. Well, barely their fans as well. Like, come on. We're all in the same boat here. There's no excuse. England must win. Southgate will definitely keep his job. 100%. With what's it called? World Cup next year. There's no way there's no way they're gonna fire him. So yeah, let's just look forward to another tournament where Southgate makes us lose our minds, So,
sorry, Anita, sorry to cut you off. Why are we talking about Mancini to Chelsea, man?
Toby's being called
Mancini for what?
From AliExpress.
Wait, hold on. Mancini for what?
What are we thinking? What's going on with Mancini at Chelsea, man?
Mancini for what? Chelsea.
Why are we doing this Olympic thing, man? What are we doing?
Stop! Don't.
Let Tuchel unpack his bags in his new London apartment, please.
About Mancini for Chelsea when Tuchel is here. Tuchel is here cooking right in front of you, and you're talking about Mancini. Stop it. Behave it. Ugh. Silly. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, people. Like I said, I don't know. I think England will win tonight, but I wouldn't also be surprised if they don't win. That's how I'm with England. And I spoke about on my last stream before these guys got here about my, I don't want to call it a complete disconnect because it's not disconnect completely, but, you know, I'm not getting the England hype that I'm getting with Chelsea in their Champions League run. So, and that's what people will say that's normal because Chelsea is Chelsea, but in other countries, they get more hyped for their countries. So we was just delving into a bit of that. Pedri, yeah, man, he's carrying that Spain team, man, is on Pedri's back right now. That brother's, every time I see him, baller. Do you know what I mean? He's looking for the ball, showing for the ball, dictating, looking to do a madness. You'd think it would be Thiago, but he's not even getting on the pitch more time. So, and I think Pedri's only 18, 19, is he? So that's definitely a shout, 100%. He's been really, really good, and he's taken this Spain team further than I thought. I didn't think the Spain team were going anywhere in this tournament. Now they're in the semi-final. So yeah, big up to them. But yeah, England, big day today. Who else is playing today? It's Denmark, Czech.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. You know.
I think Czech Republic will go through there, but again, I hope Denmark. Actually, I don't really mind. I got both of them in the big sweepstake. I hope Denmark go through because obviously Christiansen, but we'll see what happens there.
To go as far as they possibly can without hurting England.
So semi-final. Oh god. Any final thoughts, Dami, before we wrap up, bro? Anything you want to get off your chest from a Chelsea perspective? Anything that's been pissing you off or triggering you over the last few days that you want to get out there? Go for it. This is your time.
There's only one thing that it didn't piss me off, but it wasted a lot of my time in the morning. But I'm not going to give the person airtime in it. So all I've got to say is that I don't want to see you man on Twitter. Yeah. Stop coming, with Optimus Prime energy on the keyboard and then Mickey Mouse energy when it comes to pick up the mic. You understand? That's all I've got to say. And I pack up. Thank you very much.
Anita, someone said you are looking like somebody's grandmother right now with them glasses.
This is why I don't wear my glasses.
Put them back on.
No. This is why I'm blind.
Guys, look what you've done. Why did you cuss Anita out on the chat? Now she's not wearing the glasses anymore. See what you've... Oh, my God. You see what you guys have done? This is your fault.
It's not fair.
Apologize. Who is it?
Hurting me.
Somebody apologize. Who the hell was it? Let me find out. I was Michael. Michael, you need to apologize, bro. Because now she's come off.
I mean, that's a good comment. Man said, nah, Anita is fine as fuck. All right, say no more then.
All right, Anita, there you go. There you go.
I'm hungry.
The energy switch up was too powerful, man. I'm dead. Oh my God. Anita, final thoughts, man. Even if you want to delve back into the F1 for a second, who do you think is going to win the race?
Listen,
we were talking about F1, Dami, before you got it, bro. You missed it, bro.
You know, I'm actually thinking like F1. Yeah, I've started watching a bit more because of somebody I live with, bro. Hamilton signed a new contract today.
Yeah, we're gonna start F1 show soon. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. F1 show. Yeah, I'm gonna start a weekly F1 show. I think. See no more. I'm gonna have to because. It has to be done. Nobody's doing it in the football community because they're all obsessed with football, and it's weird. Football channel is being obsessed with football.
We've got a planned show coming up as well. You know, I'm saying Anita and Matisse didn't speak to you about that. But
oh, really now, huh?
Wait, hold on.
I think we might all catch a case, but we're moving it. It's calm. Don't worry. As long as some certain man are not involved, it's calm.
There's no cases that I can catch at this moment in time, baby.
Who's everybody saying in the chat for this win in Austria? Verstappen, Red Bull. Is qualifying done yet? What's happened with qualifying?
Qualifying that too.
Okay. Oh, brilliant. Great. Fantastic.
His car is too good. His
car is too good this year.
His car is too good. Do you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is,
it was
during the practice, right? And I just finished watching P3 as well, yeah. They are looking a lot quicker, Mercedes. They're looking a lot quicker. But I just feel like it's a little too late. As you're upgrading, Red Bull have probably done like 10 different upgrades already. Do you understand? Like, it's going to be so hard to catch up to them. So this is a Verstappen win again. It's the same track as last week. Softer tires, okay. But if the strategy is right, There's no reason as to why Verstappen should have won, but I believe in Lewis Hamilton and his abilities.
Yeah, man.
So
I just need him to get his 10th. And do you know what it is with? Do you know what it is with Lewis as well?
One man talking about Bottas in the comment section. What's going on with that? Fam.
I need Lewis to eclipse Schumacher. This is the title that puts him over Schumacher, isn't it? If he wins, I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think he's level. He's level with Schumacher, and then if he wins this title, he puts himself above Schumacher, and that's what I need, isn't it? But when it comes to Mercedes, I think they've decided to, yeah, that's correct. Just someone just said, yeah. I think when it comes to Mercedes, what they've decided to do is they've put in all of their energy into next year's car, because next year there's a whole heap of changes. So they're trying to get ahead of the curve and make those changes now. And that's where all the investments go in. And maybe it's not on this season's car, whereas Red Bull haven't won a title in donkey's years. They're like, yo, we don't care about next year. We're focusing on this year. We need to win now. Red Bull have put themselves under a lot of pressure because they have to win, for me, drivers and constructors, because they're clearly quicker. And on top of that, Mercedes, if they're doing what they did for the hybrid era, which is they're already ahead of the curve, then Mercedes might be saying, okay, we'll scrap the one title, but we're going to go bag 5 more later on, which is not a bad idea. Do you know what I mean? They did it for the hybrid era and absolutely dominated. So if Mercedes get it right in the new era, then that's probably why Lewis has signed the new contract, because he's like, okay, cool. You guys have got me all these titles. Yeah, I'm going to have to shed this one, but then next year I'll be back. And I'll be back year after and the year after. The roundabout is coming back. I apologize. It's coming back Monday. I promise.
It's so mad, yeah, because with Red Bull making all of these upgrades and shit, and you know, Mercedes trying not to do all of that. Yeah, it's because they're getting ready for next year. And Red Bull doing all of these upgrades and whatever, they will see their downfall next year. Oh my god.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for a bit of Bottas slander. I'm here for it. Brother said Bottas is the back of your golf F1. Oh my gosh. That is so funny, man. And so spot on as well. Do you know what, yeah? Sunday night might have to be the F1 show, because that's when the race is always finished, in it. So that would be the way to do it. Yeah. Yeah. No, listen,
Sunday, though. Ain't the final next Sunday?
Oh shit, maybe. Oh
is
god.
It next Sunday or next? No, it's next Sunday.
I don't even know. Oh, is it? All right, then it might have to be. Damn, we are gonna have sports.
I can't do next Saturday.
Yeah, next Sunday is gonna be a good day for sports. You're trying to tell me Silverstone, and we got ourselves the final of the Euros. Oh my god, that is gonna be a day to remember in the history books. Before we wrap up, just moving down the field, I'm really happy to see McLaren doing well again with really, because it's been a while. They were shit for a long time. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like Ricciardo needs to do a bit better. Like, we know he's got it in him. He's an amazing driver. We've seen it for years. But Lando Norris is at his young petite age carrying McLaren on his back. You know, like Ricciardo needs to pull his weight.
Do you think Ricciardo is still getting used to the car? Potentially.
How many races has it been now? It's been like, what, 8-9 races? Bro, you had the testing period, you had preseason testing, you've had bare practices, you've had eight races already. What more do you need?
Maybe.
It's not even like he's doing badly. It's just these last couple of races, he's just not pulled his weight, and it's a bit depressing, because Daniel Ricciardo, like, personality wise, he's like number one for me. He's amazing. He's an amazing personality. But yeah.
Did they say is GP next week or is it in 2 weeks? Sorry, I haven't been keeping up with the calendar, because are they saying Silverstone is next week, or are they saying that it's the week after? Because sometimes they have
after Austria.
They have these random gaps though, isn't it? Sometimes they take 2 weeks off. I have to check it. We won't get into too much detail, guys. Anyway, if it's not next week, then that's perfect. Because then the Euro final, and then after that, would be good. It's in 2 weeks. Okay, brilliant. All right, that's good, because that means it's not going to clash with the Euros then. We're going to wrap up now, people, but I will get working on that F1 show for you guys, and we'll test it out and see how it goes. If it plummets, then it's you guys' fault, isn't it? For hyping me up for no reason and then not turning out for the show. So yeah, we're going to test run it. We're halfway. Well, we're nearly halfway through the season, it seems anyway. But next season, we'll cover the whole calendar. Dami, let them know to find you, bro. What's happening? Let them know.
Grand Dami.
There you go. Link in description. I'm not gonna let him do his whole PR thing because he might go on another disappearing act for you people.
I mean, I'm back in it. I'm back still. You know what I'm saying? I'm back.
Brother has been back 5 times.
I've been back like 5 times now. I can't lie. But
when are you dropping a video? Where's the videos?
The videos. So that's the thing in it. I hate making promises, but then again, when bro, you saw the intro I sent you. You saw what people were doing.
That was awful. Jesus Christ, don't use that.
You got people out there messing about, but once again,
I love Huncho, but why did you go to Huncho for this particular assignment?
Huncho didn't make it. Huncho found the person in. Like I said to you, my thing is with Bruce. Bruce is the best in the business. No cap. But the thing is, like, I can't give Bruce petty little small work because it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to him and me. Because he's got to pay taxes and
whatnot. Who are these people, sorry? I'm just here like...
Dami just wants to go through all of his issues here. He's having with his channel.
Who's Huncho and Kiniko?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Anita, are we ever going to get a YouTube channel from you, my darling?
Unfortunately.
No. Man said, unfortunately, I already knew where that was going.
Guys, please just find me here. Find me on the terrace. That's about it. Yeah, you can't find me anywhere else from now on. Unfortunately. Thank you. I'm sorry.
I came on Smoke, to be fair. She spawned with like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers, to be fair, but
who, me?
I just heard someone snatch out. Okay, let's end the stream. I heard someone snatch. You know when the favorite sound of snap comes up? I don't know if it was Anita or Matisse, but
I thought my phone was on silent. Anyway,
you know when your best friend or Snapchat sends you something and you make the that's what does go on now. So I think that was Matisse in it. The way he's moving.
We're gonna wrap up because Dami's not only airing out all of his personal grievances with his channel.
He needs to respond to. That's why you want to
now Dami's going on a space vibe now in a minute. Link is in the chat for Dami's channel. Go and subscribe. Anita's Twitter is in the chat as well. Go and follow that. Monsters in the chat as well. Yeah. When's the next part?
I've got something that I'm trying to do with Spotify, so I'm hoping we can
calm down now.
Who are you, guys? Jesus is Lord. What is this?
Give me something.
Are you the Joe Budden podcast or something? What the hell's going on here?
I said trying. I didn't say it's happening. I said trying.
Jesus. Oh, I'm doing this with
this female Joe Rogan. Oh my God.
Goodbye.
Jesus. Lord. You can't be just dropping Spotify's name out here on that when we...
If I start name dropping next week, guys, I'm going to be speaking at an Adidas store. So when I put the tickets out, please get your tickets. It's going to be in White City in Westfield, I might say. And I'm going to be speaking at a TikTok event next week as well. When the tickets come out, I'll let you guys know.
Why is everybody shining? It's beautiful to see.
I've also got a hot interview coming soon. Amazing player coming very soon, and it's going to be out on The Athletic. No. Yeah. Oh, I'm working with The Athletic at the moment. I have been for 4 weeks. Just letting you guys know. Let me see. Is there anything else? That's about it. Yeah.
Shit. You know the ones where I give people at the end of the show on my channel to be like, yo, I got this, I got that. Shout out your thing. You've just dropped bombs.
Listen, I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it. But you force my hand.
I want do it. Do it. I love to see my brothers and sisters shining. You're doing bits. I see Sam got pictures up of himself in shopping centers in Manchester. Yeah, it's Sam. Don't think we didn't see you, Sam.
Doing bits.
Listen, Sam. Yeah, doing up Sky Sports and pictures of himself up on billboards and whatnot. Coming up soon. And then Mayo, don't think we forgot about you, brother, as well. Can't see that, bro. I don't know what you're doing.
What's that?
My Uber is outside, so I'll see you lot later.
All right, in a bit.
Oh, okay,
In a
okay,
bit.
okay.
Go on then.
Anita,
Go to your.
I will call you later. This guy, he can't hide.
Yeah, and then you got yeah, listen, and then you got Mayo, you know, doing this thing with Versus interview Gomez. Think I didn't see that?
Bloody hell!
Preview and review gang are
amazing.
Shining. Ugh, you man are mad. What are you moving like this? Anyway, people, you better, I hope you all jotted that down. Yeah, there's a lot to go and discover with Anita, so go and follow her on Twitter. That's where you'll get your updates. And yeah, myself, Roundabout will be coming on Monday, innit? It will be dropping. Don't worry, I promise you that it will be dropping. And then yeah, like I said, people, we keep it moving. Nearly on 15k subscribers, almost there, people. 15,000 subs. Let's try and get that done before the end of the Euros. Let's try and get that done. So yeah, see you man in a bit. Peace.
Thank you guys, by the way, everyone in the chat. Thank you.